beautiful and welcome back to my channel and welcome to this week's new makeup releases. We are going to chat about the new makeup that's been released, announced and sneak peeked, and I am going to let you know whether or not I want to pick up this makeup or whether or not I want to leave it in the store, if we are buying it or anti-hauling it, and then you let me know down in the comments whether or not you're interested in these pieces. And if you haven't been here before, don't forget to subscribe before you leave because I do upload quite a lot of videos every week. And I did film this look. I filmed it for a video that's coming next week. I'm gonna do this full face, and if you're interested in what I have on my face, I'm gonna leave that in a pinned comment down below. And if you're interested in seeing some information about any of the products that I'm gonna talk about in this episode, where can I find it, when is it being released, if I have a discount code, all of that is gonna be in the description box. All the info is always in the description box. My other socials, my merch shop, my vlog channel, all of my discount codes and affiliate links, it's always in the description box. But let me scoochie to the side so that we can pop up some pictures here. I think I brought some of the things. Let me show you the full collection now of the Glamlight and Chucky collection. They actually showed the palette just like minutes after I stopped filming, and I was like, ugh. So I put in the picture of the palette in last week's episode, but I wasn't able, so rude, I wasn't able to talk about the collection, but now I can. So I have this full collection. It did get sent to me by Glamlight. I do have a code with Glamlight, and my code is Angelica, and you can get 15% off at Glamlight. So this is what the palette looks like. I think they did such a good job with this collection, and if you want to see swatches of all of these, if you want to hear my thoughts, if you want to see a look with this very dark, unusual palette for being Glamlight, I really like that they pushed themselves out of their own comfort zone and created this super dark and grungy, like anti-Valentine story, but with the love story between Chucky and Tiff. I called her Chucky's chick in the video. She's Tiff. I really like the color story, even though I'm not the biggest fan of grays. I appreciate that they went out there and did something different, and parts of this collection is sold out and parts of it is still available. I do have the blush here. Some people were telling me, and I wanted to tell you the full story about the blush if you are not following Glamlight's owner on Instagram, because she did say the full story, and I did mention this in the video, why there are two different pans and the pans are the same blush. And the reason, and I said this in the video, but I should have explained a little bit better, is that they had problems with the licensor. And the real problem is that when this went into mass production, there were two different shades. And after this had been mass produced, the licensor was like, wait, we didn't approve that word, because this one says good guys on the pan here, and the other pan that they had to remove said another word, and the licensor was like, no, somebody must have made a mistake approving that, so they had to redo them. And instead of pushing the launch into what would have been almost summer, they decided to do two same colors because that's the one that they had approved, instead of pushing the launch until a date that just didn't fit for a Valentine's release anymore. So Glamlight did plan to have two different colors, but in order to actually be able to sell the blush at all, they decided to do one color, and they also redid the pricing, because of course in the beginning it was going to be a price for two blushes, but they lowered the price of this one to be the cost of a single blush. So this one is the same cost as the single blush, for example, from the Strawberry Shortcake collection, because there is only one color in here. So they thought that that would be the better of two different options. And I kind of have to agree, like, from what I gathered, it's not that easy sometimes to work with licensor, and I think that Glamlight did the best of a kind of peculiar situation, and at least you're only paying for one color even though you're getting two pans. So I wanted to clear that out because I know there were some people that were wondering about that. And I guess that's what happens sometimes, especially when you're on the time crunch. And hopefully something like that doesn't have to happen to the brand again, because that did not seem like a lot of fun. I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, let me see. Did I buy any of these things? I think I only bought one thing, if I'm not totally mistaken. So should we start to talk about that one? Let me double check. Yes, I only bought one thing, and that is that I actually did buy the new foundation from Tarte. This is the Maracuja Juicy Glow Foundation, and the reason why I bought this is, well, there's two reasons. First of all, Tarte has really been impressing me lately with their formulas. I've been enjoying a lot of things from Tarte, so that's the reason why I wanted to give this one a chance. And the second reason is, this says that it is a medium coverage with a soft, focused, luminous glow that promises to blur pores, fine lines, and wrinkles, and it has a 16-hour wear. And I'm thinking, if this is a glowy foundation that is blurring and has a 16-hour wear, it cannot be one of those greasy foundations. If it is that, the claims are impossible, because a greasy foundation that is like, you know, dewy, never sets, just like tacky on the skin, it does not blur, it does not diffuse anything, and it definitely does not have a 16-hour wear time. So for that reason, I decided to try this out, because I was hoping that this one might look like the Juvia's Place Luminous Foundation, which is luminous without being greasy or like full-on glowy. But maybe this one will have less coverage, because the Juvia's Place one has full coverage, which it's a good foundation, but I prefer something that is not as full coverage as that one. So I'm excited to try it out. I have been trying to do some makeup shorts here on YouTube, and I also put them on Instagram and TikTok, just like quick first impressions of stuff. And of course, I'll come back and use them in Get Ready With Me's, and I'll do, of course, like reviews of them in a bit. I want to do a review roundup. I took a break from them in January, even though I said I wouldn't, but I did because I really just wanted to take it slow in January. So I was just doing it like everything a little haphazardly, but I am gonna come back soon and do one of those review roundups, and there I always come back and talk about things again. But I think I will be doing one of those first impressions on a short or something, and maybe I'll use it in Get Ready With Me as well if you're interested. But I did purchase that one, and it is available, and I will link it down below. The next thing that I think I will be purchasing once I am able to purchase it are these new matte palettes from Huda Beauty. The more I look at these, the more I like them. I love matte eyeshadow. I love matte eyeshadow, and I really have been liking the 9-pan palettes from Huda that are not colorful. It seems like she's not able to do that formula in the 9-pans in bright colors. But the neutral ones that I have in that, I have the... Is it a snake? The one with the snake in the front, and I also have one of the nude obsessions. I have the medium one. Really good formula, like really good formulas, and for that reason I think I want to try these. They are all matte, and you know I love an all matte look, and if I do neutrals, I really do like an all matte neutral look. And also these have both matte like powder shadows and a creamed powder shadow, and I feel like this is gonna be a palette that I'm gonna like. And I also think, and this is just me tooting my own horn, I think I'm gonna be the perfect person to review these, because I love an all matte look. So I will not be adding any shimmers. I will not be having to bring something else in. I will be able to do an all matte look and show you whether or not these are suitable for an all-in-one look, and whether or not I like it, because I love all matte looks. So I think I will be picking these up and reviewing them, because I honestly think that my review might be helpful in this, and I also think that I actually will be enjoying these. Let me know what you think down below. I'm excited. These are coming, these are $29 each. It's the Cool Obsessions and the Warm Obsessions, and they're coming on the 27th at Sephora. And I'll be one of those knocking on the door wanting to purchase it on release. Also, Natasha Denona is now available at Ulta. I will link it down below in case you want to check it out. I don't know if she's coming into stores as well, but this is a great time to try out some Natasha Denona if you have some points at Ulta, because Natasha Denona is a little bit expensive, and if you can use some points, you might be able to get to try some of the things a little bit more on the affordable side. My favorite is the retro, the original retro. I love that one the most. That is my favorite of the ones that are available. I also really love that my perfect face palette, what's it called, that my perfect face palette, that whole collection, my perfect face palette, my perfect lip products, and the, is it called perfect? I think it's that, and also the my perfect eye palette. That whole collection was also really beautiful. So those I would definitely recommend if you're checking them out. Wait, I have this one. There's a sneak peek from Half Magic Beauty. I think this one is releasing the day that this one is going out, and I have it. Let me go get it so we can look at it. So I think that this one is already available. This is the Grippie Brow Sculpting Gel, and this is a brow gel that is sealed. Let me see if I can open it here. Wait, I'm breaking the packaging. And it is that, like, green, and also her liner comes in this green kind of a packaging. So it is a sculpting gel for the brows. It is see-through. Just smells like a brow gel, but I will be trying this out for sure. It says Grippie brows, which leads me to think that this is going to be a little bit like a brow glue or like a soap brows. But yeah, I will for sure be trying this one out in an upcoming video. I will link it down below because, like I said, I'm fairly sure that this one is available now. Adept Cosmetics also released the gel liquid liners that they had in their mystery box on their site now, and they did have a mystery box some time ago that I don't remember if I talked about it or not, but I decided to not pick it up because I didn't want to add a lot of more things to my collection. These are $17 each, and the $10 each. Oh, so the ones that have expensive pigments, I'm guessing that is the multi-chrome liners, are $17, and the ones that do not have multi-chrome pigments are $10. Okay, so that, yeah, I can see by the swatches that like some of them are multi-chrome versus not. I know some people were a little bit disappointed with the mystery box because it had an eyeshadow palette that I honestly thought looked really good. It was like a more neutral leaning color story from Adept, but they do some neutral palette. I mean, the Minka palette was a neutral, but this palette had more mattes, and I actually liked the mattes from Adept, so I wouldn't have been sad about that palette. But then it had the full set of the liners, and I will say that I also think that I would have been a little bit, not disappointed, but a little bit surprised that they would put 8 liners, because I think it was 8 in a mystery box, because not a lot of people need 8 liners, and I understand with the mystery box, a mystery is always a mystery, but yeah, when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, the palette is pretty, but I did not need 8 liquid liners, and if I, as a makeup reviewer, does not need 8 liquid liners, I'm fairly sure that maybe not a lot of you need that either. So me personally, I'm kind of happy I didn't pick up the mystery box. I could see myself picking up 1 liner or 2, and I actually kind of did like the palette that was in. It was like a palette that had mostly neutrals but also more mattes than they usually do, which is something that I really like, and had like a red matte in there, and I love red mattes. So the palette I like, the liners, I'm kind of happy I didn't get the full set, but they are available on the website in case you want to pick up like 1 or 2 of them. This one is also interesting, and this is by Nyx Cosmetics, and these are 2 new skincare items, and this is the Face Freezie Cooling Primer and Moisturizer, and the Face Freezie Reusable Cooling Under Eye Patches. I wonder if you're supposed to put the patches in the fridge and use? I kind of like that. Remember I tried a while ago, I had this, I wonder where it is, I'm gonna go get it. It is a morning mask that is cooling. It is so wonderful. I wonder if this one works the same way as that, but that is a cooling mask that you put on, and then it cools on the skin and really wakes up your skin, and then you wash it off. Let me see if I can get it to find it, because I love that cooling mask. I've been using it so many times. Okay, here it is. It is the I'm Green Tea Hydro Burst Morning Mask from TonyMoly. This mask, when you put it on your skin, it has like a reaction where it becomes cooler, and it is like jelly. And it smells just fresh. Smells fresh. It's really nice and cooling on the skin, and now I'm like, oh, I kind of want to use it now. I have been really enjoying this one. I will link this one down below as well. It's such a lovely mask. I really do enjoy it, and I'm wondering if this is going to be something similar. But do these like work on their own, like this one? Because this one you don't need to put in the fridge. When you put it on the skin, when it comes in contact with air, it cools. It feels cooling for a bit. It's really refreshing. But I'm wondering if you need to put this one in the fridge. So let me see if I can read up on this one. There is nothing on the Nyx Instagram. I have no idea, but if it sounds interesting, I might try it out, because I do love the cooling feeling, especially when we're soon coming into spring and summer, which is really warm in this neck of the woods. When I saw this, I was like, oh, this looks really luxurious. And then I saw that it's Makeup Revolution, it's XX Revolution, and I'm like, should I give XX Revolution another chance? Because I like how this looks. So this is the XX Glow Sculptor Cream Blush and Bronzer, and I think that this looks really cute. It's a duo with 2 cream products. One is a blush and one is a bronzer, and I think they look interesting. I kind of want to try it out. Should I try it out? The dreamiest creamy blush and bronzer duo for buildable, healthy glow. Seamlessly blend between warm-toned bronzer and pigmented pretty blush hues. I love a warm-toned bronzer. Perfectly paired shades to flatter everyone in a lightweight, travel-friendly compact. velvet finish, which for me at least means that it's not going to be like dewy, sticky. Designed to work best with our face brush, of course, but you can use anything. But also applying with your fingers or a beauty sponge. Oh, okay. $12 each. Should I try this? Do you want to see me try this one? Because I'm kind of interested, and the compact looks cute and the colors look cute. And I mean, one of my favorite products of 2022 was the Makeup Revolution Cream Bronzer. So maybe this is like a similar formula with a blush as well. Because like they clearly show me that they know how to do a cream bronzer. So I'm thinking, should I give this a chance? Yes or no? Let me know. There are some new products that are coming into Sephora, and one of the things is that the cream bronzer duos, that is a cream bronzer and a powder bronzer from Patrick Ta, has 2 new shades. I saw some people talking about this like these are new. The formula is not new, but he has extended the shade range with 2 more shades, but I think it's amazing. He had 3 shades from before, and even though the shades were like, it was a pretty good range in the shades, it definitely could go, any shade range could be better, and I'm excited to see that the product was popular enough so that he's able to extend with more shades. So now there is, I wonder which are the new ones. The new ones is She's Defined, which is the darkest one, and She's Bronzed, which is a medium shade in the middle that looks a little bit more on the reddish undertone. And I think that that's pretty cool. I tried this product. I didn't love it for me. This wasn't my favorite product, but a lot of people really, really love this product. So if you think that any of these shades look good for you, I will link them down below. Check out some other people's reviews as well, because we might not have the exact same preferences when it comes to bronzer, but I will say for me, this was an okay, but not a favorite, and I actually did declutter it. Another brand that is coming out with a new shade in their formula is One Size, and the Cheek Clappers 3D Blush Trio Palette is coming out in a bright bubblegum pink that is called Attention Seeker. This formula, I had one of these and I also decluttered that one because I bought the orangey red one, but it is extremely pigmented. And I prefer a blush that is a little bit more on the sheer buildable side, but this is a very pigmented trio. So definitely that red one wasn't for me, and I would need to go for one of the lighter shades. But those were a little bit more on the mauvey peachy side, and I just wanted something a little bit different, so I decluttered it because it was too pigmented. But if you love a pigmented blush and you love bubblegum pink, you might really enjoy this one. Laura Mercier is also coming out with some new products, and they are coming out with a tinted moisturizer bronzer, which is a glow. I'm guessing it's a moisturizer bronzer. Is that like it then a glowy liquid bronzer? I'm not 100% sure. I haven't tried a lot of Laura Mercier, if I'm gonna be honest. And then there is a Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Foundation. And I think the shade range of this one, I wonder if this is the full shade range. It seems to be a lot of light shades and then just a few dark shades, and I don't know if that is how it really looks. Sometimes these product pictures are not a true representation of how it looks in real life, so keep that in mind as well. I think that I'm gonna try out the Tarte foundation, and I'm also really interested in another foundation. I'll talk about that in 1 second. So I don't think that I will be trying this one, but I've heard a lot of people really, really loving the foundations that are already available from Laura Mercier. I actually took a little break and I went and bought this foundation because it is now available at Sephora. This is the new Gucci foundation. We talked about it before. This is the Éternité, the Beauté. What do you think about that French foundation? This is from Gucci. This just really sounds like a foundation that I am gonna enjoy because it is designed to cocoon skin with a hydrated and breathable finish, which is what I like. I don't want it to be a shield because I feel like that makes my skin oily. It also holds a second skin feel for all day comfort, and it makes me think that this is something that's gonna sink into the skin and not be a thick foundation. And it is infused with bamboo powder, which helps control shine and blurring pores. Super excited about this one. I bought one of the I think they weren't called light medium, I think they were called fair medium shades with a warm undertone. I did buy this. I will be trying it out. I am super excited. I didn't try out the other foundation from Gucci, but I'm excited to be trying this one out. I hope I hope it's gonna be a winner. Something else that just launched at Sephora that I didn't buy is the new Light Radiant Glow Highlighter by Cali Ray, and it comes out in 2 different shades, and it is a Moonlight Beach and a Starlight Beach. And it seems like these are highlighters with a transparent base because they do have swatches on a bunch of different skin tones, and they do seem to work over a wider array of skin tones, which leads me to believe that it has a transparent base, which is my favorite type of highlighter. These are coming, well, these are coming February 23rd, but I think the listing is already up on Sephora, and I will leave it down below. I still have not tried Cali Ray. Cali Ray is actually started by the founder of Urban Decay. Her name is Wendy, and she did start Urban Decay, and then she sold Urban Decay to L'Oreal, I think, and then she started the brand Cali Ray that is also available at Sephora. I don't know if I have a picture to show you or not, but I have this here as well, and I am not 100% sure what I will be able to show you here, but I'm just letting you know that I think that there is a new launch coming today at Ace Beauté. They told me that they're hoping to be able to launch on Friday. So if I'm not able to have a picture here, check out their website. There is a new launch coming soon, and my code with Ace Beauté is Angelica, and I do have that launch. So I'll show you as soon as I can, but I just wanted to let you know, if you love the brand as much as I do, they're having something new coming probably today. This is a little sneak peek. This is from Beauté Bar, which is another brand that I really enjoy, and they are coming out with a new palette, and this is an empty palette. So this is only the packaging, and there's no pans in here. This seems to be a huge palette, which I know is someone's taste, but it's not always my favorite. But they are saying, can you guess the name of the color story of our new palette? I don't know about the color story and the name, but it is fairly clear from the names that are in here that it is flower inspired, because it is like Morning Glory, Love and Mist, Gladless, Cornflower, Blue Daisy, False Indigo, Iris. Like, it's only flower names, so maybe it's a garden inspired palette. I'm excited to see what this is, even though my favorite isn't big palettes like this, but I do enjoy the Beauté formula, and I'm really excited to see what they're coming out with. I'll let you know more about this once I know more. My code with Beauté Bar is also Angelica, and I will leave all of that down below. Oh, we forgot to talk about the weekly Colourpop segment. They are doing a collab with Snow White. I am actually really excited to see them do like a dedicated collection to like one movie like this, because like the Disney princesses and the Disney villains, that's all fine and dandy, but I'm kind of enjoying them seeing something like this. And at this point, they're doing so many Disney collabs, so why wouldn't they do something like this? I really like that they did a lip mask with the apple, and then a mirror that is like mirror mirror on the wall. I don't think that she's actually saying that. Someone told me that like that is one of those, like, we think they're saying that, but they're actually saying something else. I'm not 100% sure. Me personally, I think this looks really, really cute. The thing that I'm the most interested in are the blushes, because I think the blushes are the Super Shock blushes with a sheen. I think they have some shimmer to them, and that is one of my absolute favorite formulas from Colourpop ever, so I'm super excited to be checking these out. I think the palette looks really cute too. I think that when it comes to collabs, everyone is divided into 2 different like teams. Team 1 wants the collabs to be inspired by the feel of the franchise, not necessarily specific colors from the things. That is me. I prefer something to be inspired by the feel of the game, the feel of the movie, the feel of the whatever, not necessarily picking up colors specifically from the movie or from a cover of a CD or something. And then we have the other team that want people to pick exact colors from the characters, and I sometimes think that those collabs fall a little flat, because just because it works in a character doesn't mean that it works in a color scheme of a palette. And this is just me. So for example, I prefer the color scheme of the Avatar: The Last Airbender, because that was more a color scheme that was the feeling of the movie, but at the same time making a palette that actually works together. Like, it's a cohesive palette where the colors work together. And then this one is more they're picking colors from the character. Like, there's a black for the hair, and a blue and a red, and a yellow for the dress. I think that this kind of works. I still can see myself doing something fun with this palette, but I do prefer when they do something that's like the feel of the palette. Because when you do this, there's always going to be someone that's like, but there's no color to represent the eye, or there's no color to represent the handkerchief. Like, people go into very specific details that I personally don't care. I don't care if there's a color that represents someone's eye or handkerchief. I just want it to be a cute palette that's inspired by the franchise and that works as an actual palette. Because I see a lot of people doing palettes that they're like, this is my palette inspired by Finding Nemo. I'm just picking something out of thin air. And I see the color story and I'm like, okay, but what would you do with that palette? What looks are you creating with this palette? Because sometimes I think that they're taking the themes maybe a little bit too literate. This is my opinion. This is my channel. This is me sharing my opinions. If you feel differently, I'd love to hear about it. Will say that I think in this color story, it kind of works because they mix some neutrals in there. But I think that this one is coming my way. USPS did let me know that I have a package coming today. And it is coming from the small town outside of LA where Colourpop has their headquarters. So I'm kind of suspecting that it's this one that's coming in. If it looks really cute in real life, I might do a dedicated video. I sometimes do dedicated videos on Colourpop because I think sometimes they do really cute stuff. I do have a code with Colourpop. My code is Angelica, and you'll be able to get some money off if you want to order this collection or if you want to buy something else from Colourpop. I do have a video that I'm talking about like the best and worst from Colourpop if you want to get some inspiration. I think that this looks cute, and if it looks really cute in real life, I might do a video. The thing that I'm the most interested in are the blushes. I can never get enough of the Super Shock Cheeks. Like, give me all the colors. Oh, also it seems like Glossier is now up on Sephora. We talked about this before, that Glossier is coming to Sephora. I don't think it is available yet, but it seems like at least you can look at the listings at Sephora. It seems like a bunch of things are coming, like the concealer, mascara, some lip products, the cloud paints, and there's some of the moisturizers and skincare products as well. I have tried a bunch of Glossier, and even though I didn't hate it, I also wasn't in love, so this isn't like, woo, I'm so excited. This is more I'm just letting you know, in case you love it. I think I'm gonna pass. I usually try to stay pretty positive. I try to see everyone's point of view when it comes to makeup, that things that I hate, other people might love, and just because a design decision or a formula decision isn't for me doesn't mean that it's not for anyone. But I will say that these new eyeshadow palettes by LYS, I really don't like how these look, and I will say that I think a lot of people, this is not even a stab in the dark. This is a stab in broad daylight. I think a lot of people look at this and they're like, this isn't the best choice of packaging. I understand that they have this aesthetic where they want to have like a triangle like packaging. I get that, but then trying to do that triangle packaging into this 6-pan, it's just busy. And it loses its function because this is going to be really hard to pick up the colors. And I also like, the color stories aren't really that pretty, and it looks busy, it looks amateurish, and I just really don't love the look of any of these two. I love that orangey shade in one of them, but if I was looking for an orange shade like that, I do have that in the Solmåne 2 palette by Odensai, and I can just easily pick that color up. I just really think that this one fell flat for me, and I honestly wish that maybe someone along the line would have just questioned this decision, because you can definitely still in some way get the triangle shaped into your design if that is what you want. I just don't think that maybe this was the best of choices. Oh, I'm gonna buy this one. I totally forgot. This one I'm gonna buy as soon as I see it. I haven't seen it yet, but as soon as I see it, I'm gonna be picking this one up. This has apparently been spotted in stores, and this is something new from Glow Recipe. And this is the Strawberry BHA Pore Smooth Blur Drops Pore Refining and Blurring. And this is blurs pores instantly, controls excess oil, visibly reduces pore size, blah 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 blah. Treatment and primers packed with a mattifying blend of tapioca and rice, encapsulated BHA and strawberry enzymes to smooth skin's texture. This seems very, very interesting. Some people have been spotting it in stores, but it is coming to Sephora and other retailers soon, and I will definitely be trying this out because this seems to be for someone like me that has combo skin, or if you have oily skin that sometimes battles a little bit with keeping your makeup on and fresh throughout the entire day, and especially like just filling in some pores and stuff. Like, I think this sounds like something I will really like. Treatment and primer. I have high hopes for this one. Maybe too high hopes. Like, listen, the bar is on the moon. This one has a lot of expectations to live up to. I got tagged in this one last week, and honestly, I thought it was so boring that I didn't even bring it up, but this is the new big palette by P. Louise. The Identify Your Worth palette. Listen, play on words, love the whole story behind it, love the theming of it, but what is this? What is this? Such a big palette, and some of these shades look identical, and did we really need to have 3 highlighters in here as well? I just feel this is so 2017. This is like, this is what BH Cosmetics did in 2017. Why do we need that today? I don't understand. This could have been condensed to a 12 pan palette and highlighter singles, or if you really needed to, a highlighter trio. This big palette is just ridiculous. And I say this with love, but P. Louise is doing makeup for makeup artists and for people that want, aspiring people that would like to be a makeup artist. But for someone like me, I don't need a palette. I don't need a million of almost the same colors like this and 3 highlighters for 3 different skin tones. I have 1 skin tone. Thank you very much. Maybe a duo with one that's a little lighter or a little darker, depending on where you put it or how much tan you have. But this palette makes sense for absolutely no one that only does makeup on themselves. Like, you don't, if you are only doing makeup on yourself, there are so many good, really curated neutral palettes that you could be picking up instead of this one. If you are a makeup artist and you need a really good matte brown, because this is all brown, it's not even a neutral eyeshadow palette, it's just a brown eyeshadow palette, maybe this is for you. I just think it's so redundant, and that's me. I mean, I would have said, I said that when she did a green palette that was bigger than this with just greens as well. Like, nobody needs that many greens. Like, everybody calm down. The last thing that I want to talk about, and this is really unexpected, I don't remember myself ever talking about something like this, but the reason why I'm talking about this is because I want to gift this to my mom. And this is the Guerlain's Floral Denim Summer Collection. Can you please let me know when you see this in online stores in Europe? Because I don't want to buy it here in the US and ship to my mom, but I want to buy it in Europe and I want to give it to my mom because my mom is a florist in the beginning. She worked as a florist in the beginning half of her life, and she loves bees and bumblebees. So I think that this is just so cute, and I would love to get at least one of those lipsticks for her. So please let me know if you see this in store in Europe. It says that it's coming later this summer, but as soon as you see it, please let me know because I would love to give my mom this. She would love this. My mom still wears makeup, and I just know that she would look at this packaging because it is like the pattern, or isn't even like embroidered on the denim. I don't know, but I just know that she would look at this and be like, oh my god, this is the cutest ever. So please, when you see it, let me know because I really think she is gonna love that. The eyeshadow quad, I mean, that's not going to be for her, but the lipsticks, definitely. She is definitely going to love the lipsticks. I think it's super cute, and I think it is just one of those things that it's so different that it becomes collectible. It becomes like something that you're like, oh, I would love to pull that out of my purse. And if you're the kind of person only, like my mom, that only buys 1 or 2 lipsticks and then uses them up and then buys another one, something like this is perfect. So yeah, I think this is super cute. Maybe this is unexpected for me to say that, but I really like how that is looking. Okay, let us double check so we didn't miss something new that's announced. Nopey nope. Okay then, I think that was everything. I hope you're having an absolutely amazing day, and I hope you're gonna have an absolutely amazing weekend. I know that I will. I had a really great weekend last week. I'm gonna try and vlog this weekend as well, and I'll put it on my vlog channel. If you haven't checked out my vlog channel, it's always linked down below. And yeah, if you need any details, it's in the description box or in the pinned comment, and I will see you again on Monday for a new video that I'm super excited to be showing you because it is a collab with one of my friends. Bye!